50 interesting psychology facts about human behavior. Ever catch yourself talking out loud and wonder if you're going a bit crazy? It turns out you might just be giving your brain a supercharge. We'll explore this and 49 other surprising truths that explain why you do the things you do. Starting with number 1.
The inner workings of your mind. Talking to yourself isn't madness. It's a powerful cognitive tool. When you speak your thoughts aloud, you're transforming abstract ideas into concrete words, helping you organize them more clearly. Studies show that verbalizing your goals or the steps to a problem can seriously boost your focus and problem-solving skills. So next time you mutter to yourself while looking for your keys, know you're just giving your brain a helpful nudge. Messy handwriting can signal a fast-working brain. If your notes are a chaotic scrawl, it might not be a lack of discipline. It often means your brain is firing off ideas faster than your hand can keep up. The physical act of writing just can't match the speed of your thoughts, a trait common among highly creative people whose main goal is to get the idea down before it vanishes. Your brain is hardwired to spot the negative first. Ever wonder why a single piece of criticism stings more than a dozen compliments? It's not because you're a pessimist, it's a survival mechanism. Your brain has a negativity bias, meaning it reacts more strongly to negative things. In our evolutionary past, spotting a threat was far more important for survival than appreciating a pretty flower. Multitasking is a myth that just exhausts your brain. You might feel productive juggling 3 things at once, but your brain can't truly multitask. Instead, it's task switching, rapidly shifting focus back and forth. This constant jumping around depletes your mental energy, makes you more prone to errors, and is ultimately less efficient than just doing one thing at a time. Doodling actually helps you remember more. Go ahead and sketch in the margins during that long meeting. Doodling isn't a sign of a wandering mind. It's a tactic your brain uses to stay engaged. It keeps your mind occupied just enough to stop it from daydreaming completely, which helps it absorb the information being presented. Research has shown that people who doodle while listening to a boring recording can recall much more of it later. A tired brain can be a more creative brain. While you need sleep for logical thinking, a little bit of fatigue can actually boost your creativity. When you're tired, the part of your brain that filters your thoughts is less active. This allows for more unusual and innovative ideas to bubble up. So if you're stuck on a creative problem, tackling it when you're a little worn out might lead to a breakthrough. Thinking in a foreign language can lead to more rational decisions. When you think in a language that isn't your native tongue, you create emotional distance from the problem. This forces you into a more systematic mode of thinking, reducing the influence of emotional biases and allowing you to make a choice based on logic rather than a gut feeling. The quietest person in the room often sees the most. Those who talk less aren't always shy. They're often busy observing. When you're not focused on what you're going to say next, your mind is free to pick up on the subtle social cues, body language, and details that others miss, leading to a deeper level of perception. Your brain is a security guard. It prioritizes threats over rewards. Much like the negativity bias, your brain is fundamentally wired for survival. This is why the sting of rejection feels so intense, or why a scary memory is often more vivid than a happy one. Your brain dwells on mistakes and anxieties because it's trying to learn from them to keep you safe in the future. Writing down your goals makes them feel real. The simple act of putting a goal on paper transforms it from an abstract wish into a tangible objective. It engages multiple parts of your brain and sends a powerful signal to your subconscious that you're committed. It serves as a constant reminder and a clear target to aim for. Your behavior in the modern world. Your attention span is shrinking because of digital overstimulation. The constant flood of notifications, endless scrolling, and bite-sized content is retraining your brain to crave novelty over depth. Each time you switch from a task to check your phone, you reinforce a pattern of fractured attention, making it harder to engage in deep, focused work over time. Phantom phone vibrations are a real thing. Ever felt your phone vibrate only to find no notification? This is a type of digital hallucination. Your brain has become so conditioned to expect alerts that it starts misinterpreting other subtle signals, like a muscle twitch or the rustling of fabric, as a vibration. It's a sign of how deeply technology is wired into our nervous system. Losing your smartphone can trigger genuine separation anxiety. That gut-wrenching panic when you can't find your phone isn't an overreaction. For many of us, our phones have become extensions of our minds, holding memories, connections, and personal data. Losing it can feel like losing a part of yourself, triggering a psychological stress response. Silence can be uncomfortable because it leaves you alone with your thoughts. In a world of constant noise, true silence can be jarring. It strips away external distractions, forcing you to face your own inner monologue. This is why people often rush to fill quiet moments with chatter or music. It's a way to keep their own unfiltered thoughts at bay. Music with lyrics is distracting when you're trying to read or write. It's like trying to listen to two people talking at once. Your brain's language centers struggle to process the lyrics and the text on the page simultaneously. Instrumental music, however, can provide a soothing backdrop that can actually enhance focus. Your walking speed says a lot about your personality. The pace at which you walk can reveal more than just how much of a hurry you're in. Studies have shown that faster walkers tend to live longer and often have higher levels of optimism and conscientiousness. A slower pace, on the other hand, can sometimes be linked to neuroticism. Night owls tend to be more independent and rebellious. If you do your best work late at night, you might be part of a group that naturally pushes back against convention. Psychologically, night owls often score higher on measures of creativity and individualism. They're less likely to conform to a 9-to-5 schedule and prefer to think and work on their own terms. Loneliness is physically harmful. Feeling lonely isn't just an emotional state, it's a biological stressor. Research has found that chronic loneliness is linked to a weakened immune system and increased inflammation throughout the body, which over time can contribute to chronic illnesses like heart disease. Small, positive interactions with strangers can make you happier. You don't need a deep conversation to get a mental lift. Simple moments of connection, like smiling at a cashier or thanking the bus driver, have a surprisingly powerful effect on your well-being. They foster a sense of community and reduce feelings of isolation. Friendships formed in your late teens and 20s are often the most durable. This period is a time of intense personal growth and navigating major life changes like college, first jobs, and new relationships. The friends you make during this phase become your partners in discovery, forging a powerful shared bond that is uniquely resilient to time and distance. The biases and effects that shape you. The mere exposure effect makes you like things just because they're familiar. You might think you love that one song because it's a masterpiece, but it's more likely you've just heard it a lot. We have a tendency to prefer things simply because we're familiar with them. Repeated exposure breeds a sense of comfort, which our brain interprets as liking something. Choice overload can leave you paralyzed and unhappy. Having choices seems great, but too many can be overwhelming. When faced with an endless aisle of cereal, you might experience decision paralysis and choose nothing. And even if you do make a choice, you're more likely to feel less satisfied, wondering if another option might have been better. The placebo effect proves your belief can create real physical changes. The mind has incredible power over the body. If you believe you're receiving a real medical treatment, you can experience genuine physiological improvements, even if it's just a sugar pill. Your expectations can trigger your brain to release its own natural pain-relieving chemicals. Colors have a psychological impact on your mood and behavior. The colors around you can subtly influence how you feel. For example, red has been shown to increase heart rate and can evoke feelings of passion or urgency. Blue, on the other hand, is often associated with calmness and productivity, which is why it's a popular choice for offices. The halo effect causes you to judge a book by its cover. If you see someone as attractive, you're more likely to assume they're also intelligent, kind, and successful, even with no evidence. This is the halo effect. One positive trait creates a halo that colors your perception of all their other traits, leading to biased judgments. The Flynn effect suggests humanity is getting better at thinking abstractly. Over the past century, IQ scores have been steadily rising across the globe. This doesn't necessarily mean we're becoming geniuses, but it likely reflects improvements in education, nutrition, and our increasing need to solve complex, abstract problems in modern life. The Pygmalion effect shows that high expectations can create high performance. When a teacher believes a student is a high achiever, that student is more likely to perform well. This self-fulfilling prophecy happens because people who believe in you tend to offer more support and encouragement, which in turn helps you succeed. The cocktail party effect is your brain's selective hearing. Imagine you're at a loud party, yet you can tune out all the noise to focus on one conversation. But if you hear your name mentioned across the room, your attention instantly shifts. This is a remarkable demonstration of your brain's ability to filter out irrelevant noise and zero in on what's important. The spotlight effect makes you think everyone is watching you. When you spill coffee on your shirt, you might feel like a giant spotlight is on you. In reality, far fewer people notice than you think. We tend to overestimate how much others notice our appearance or actions because we're all the stars of our own movies. The Baader-Meinhof phenomenon is why you suddenly see things everywhere. Ever learn a new word and then suddenly start hearing it all the time? That's not magic, it's your brain. This frequency illusion is a mix of two things. Your brain is now primed to notice it, selective attention, and every time you do, it confirms your belief that it's everywhere, confirmation bias. Landmark experiments that revealed our nature. The little Albert experiment showed how fear can be learned. In 1920, John B. Watson conditioned a 9-month-old baby, little Albert, to fear a white rat by making a loud, scary noise every time he touched it. Soon, Albert was terrified of the rat, even without the noise. This unethical experiment provided stark evidence of how phobias can be learned through association. The Stanford prison experiment revealed the power of the situation. In 1971, Philip Zimbardo assigned college students to be either guards or prisoners in a simulated prison. The experiment, planned for 2 weeks, had to be shut down after just 6 days. The guards became abusive, and the prisoners grew helpless and distressed, a chilling look at how social roles can distort our behavior. Milgram's experiment exposed our shocking obedience to authority. How far would you go if someone in charge told you to do something? In the 1960s, Stanley Milgram found that a shocking 65% of participants were willing to deliver what they believed were lethal electric shocks to another person simply because a scientist in a lab coat told them to. The Bobo doll experiment proved that aggression is learned by watching. Albert Bandura's famous 1960 studies showed that children who watched an adult aggressively beat up a Bobo doll were far more likely to mimic that same violent behavior. This was a cornerstone of social learning theory, demonstrating we learn by observing others. Harlow's monkey experiments showed that love is more important than food. In a series of cruel but groundbreaking experiments, Harry Harlow gave infant monkeys two surrogate mothers, one made of wire that provided food and one made of soft cloth that didn't. The monkeys overwhelmingly preferred the cloth mother, proving that comfort, security, and love are fundamental to healthy development. The Good Samaritan experiment revealed that being in a hurry makes us less helpful. This experiment explored why people do, or don't, help others. Seminary students on their way to give a talk were told that they were either late or had plenty of time. On the way, they passed an actor who clearly needed help. The vast majority of those in a hurry walked right past him, showing that situational pressures can easily override our good intentions. The UCLA Schizophrenia Family Study highlighted the mix of genetics and environment. This long-term study found that while there is a strong genetic link to schizophrenia, environmental factors like stress and family communication play a crucial role in whether the illness actually develops. It was a pivotal study that moved us toward a more nuanced understanding of mental illness. The elderly related words experiment showed how our minds can control our bodies. In this priming study, participants were asked to unscramble sentences containing words associated with old age, like wrinkle and gray. Afterwards, researchers secretly timed how long it took them to walk down the hall. Those primed with the elderly related words walked significantly slower, unaware of the change. Solomon Asch's conformity experiments demonstrated the power of group pressure. In these studies, a participant was put in a room with actors and asked to match the length of a line. When the actors all gave the same, obviously wrong answer, a significant number of participants conformed to the group's error, even when it contradicted what they could clearly see. The spotlight effect experiments confirmed our self-centered perspective. To test this, researchers had students wear an embarrassing Barry Manilow t-shirt into a room of their peers. The students wearing the shirt guessed that about 50% of people noticed it. In reality, it was only about 20%. It's hard proof that we feel like we're on stage far more than we actually are. Practical insights for a better life. Talking to yourself is a sign of a busy, active mind. While not directly linked to a higher IQ, the habit of talking to yourself is a powerful cognitive tool for organizing your thoughts and navigating complex problems. Think of it as giving your brain a helpful set of instructions out loud, which can improve focus and performance. Men and women smile differently, and a lot of it is social. It's not just your imagination. Research confirms women tend to smile more than men, but this is less about happiness levels and more about social conditioning. Women are often socialized to be more emotionally expressive, using smiles to build bonds and de-escalate tension. A 20-second hug can literally change your body chemistry. A good hug isn't just comforting, it's a biochemical event. When you hug someone for at least 20 seconds, your body releases oxytocin, the love hormone. This powerful hormone helps build trust, reduces stress by lowering cortisol, and can even lower your blood pressure. Spending money on experiences brings more lasting happiness than buying things. The thrill of a new gadget fades quickly, a process called hedonic adaptation. But the happiness from an experience like a vacation or a concert tends to last and even grow over time. Experiences become part of your identity and create memories you can cherish forever. Overthinking is a direct path to unhappiness. Constantly replaying negative events and worrying about the future is a cycle called rumination, and it's strongly linked to anxiety and depression. This mental loop drains your energy, magnifies negative feelings, and keeps you stuck in unproductive thought patterns. Busier people tend to be happier people. This might seem backward, but a full schedule can be great for your happiness. When you're engaged in meaningful activities, you have less time to dwell on negative thoughts or boredom. The key is to be busily engaged in rewarding things, not just busily stressed by an overwhelming to-do list. Making eye contact can be a sign of deep connection. Here's a fascinating sign of a deep connection. Some studies have shown that when two people who feel an emotional bond gaze into each other's eyes, their heart rates can actually begin to synchronize. It's a powerful, nonverbal sign that you are literally in tune with someone on a biological level. Couples who laugh together are more likely to stay together. Shared laughter is one of the strongest predictors of a healthy, long-lasting relationship. It releases endorphins, reduces stress, and creates a powerful sense of shared joy and intimacy. A shared sense of humor is a vital ingredient for navigating life's challenges together. You subconsciously mimic the body language of people you like. Ever notice yourself crossing your legs the same way as your friend? This is called mirroring, and it's an unconscious way we build rapport. By subtly copying another person's posture and gestures, you're non-verbally communicating, "I'm like you, I understand you." Practicing gratitude can rewire your relationship for the better. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. Actively looking for things to appreciate in your partner and expressing it can fundamentally shift the dynamic of a relationship. It fosters positivity, reduces negativity, and helps both partners feel seen, valued, and more deeply connected. So, from the way you talk to yourself to why you can't stop listening to that one song on repeat, these psychological truths are shaping every part of your life. Understanding them is the first step to understanding yourself. If you found these facts as fascinating as we did, give this video a like and subscribe for more explorations into the human mind. For our next video, we recommend checking out our look at the cognitive biases that control your decisions. Thanks for watching.